So how do you adjust your audio levels in Adobe Audition? This is very important for several reasons. Listeners are expecting a certain level of audio, and your distribution and podcast host is expecting a certain level of audio. That way, whenever you're listening from episode to episode, whenever you're listening from podcast to podcast, one podcast isn't like this, the next podcast isn't like this, and then the next podcast, and I'm not going to do it, but the next podcast doesn't blow your ears off. There's actually a very narrow range of what all this audio needs to fall into. And this will show you how to do that. We'll go over the various techniques. There are several techniques that you can use, either from the micro to the macro, and we'll go over those next. And by the end of this video, you will have a mess of tools in your toolbox to help you adjust audio levels from individual snippets to overall entire channels of audio, whatever is going to be best for that adjustment that needs to take place. So let's dive in the first few. So I just started with, I just finished up the curiosity hooks, and then we go into this. So this is a podcast that I work on every week. This is where the new voiceover starts. This is actually a template, and I drop in the new voiceover every week. The template consists of the intro with the opening sound effects and the outro with a call to action and the sound effects. This is a quick little tease, a quick little intro to the episode itself. And then this is the new voiceover for the episode. So you can see that the intro and the outro, they're already pre-produced. And the only reason why I have this on separate channels is so I can adjust for time whenever I need to, make those final tweaks and stuff like that. But this is brand new audio. I need to make this match this. So let's talk about how to adjust those audio levels in Adobe Audition, starting with the actual audio itself. So I'm going to double click this and we'll go over to the waveform view and look at just this audio. So here's the brand new episode. The intro is this little piece right up here. And then here's the brand new episode that takes up the rest of the time in the multi-track view. So a couple different ways that you can do this. You can raise the levels in the edit window. First of all, there are, let's say, see how this is a little bit hotter than the rest of this? Let's zoom into this section. I can select it, and one way I can do it is take this little wheel right here and adjust the amplitude. I'm going to go a little bit to the left. I'm going to go a lot to the left to show you, or I'm going to go way to the right, and I can turn it up or turn it down at my discretion. So that's one way. You select the audio that you want and then do the adjustment wheel to kind of make it match up. That's one way you can do it in the waveform view. Another way you can do it is with some processing here. Now, what you need to be aware of, the difference between processing it here and processing it in the multi-track, this is stuff that will affect the channel, but not necessarily the audio itself. This over here, whatever changes we make over here and we end up bringing over to here, this will affect the audio. This is called destructive editing because it's going to change your original file. So keep that in mind. What needs to change permanently and forever? And what is it that you just want to mess with and see what sounds best and experiment with it until you finally get it right in the way you like it? So be aware of what you're editing and how you're editing it. So this can be a permanent change. Now, another thing I can do is I can just take the whole thing and I can bring it up quite a bit. Now, let's see what that has done over here. Now, you see how much bigger it is? That's all of a sudden getting into this range that we need to be in. So let's come back over here. And there are a couple other things you can do for the individual clips. We've done that one right there. Now, over here in multi-track, you can affect the change across the entire track by putting something at the very top of the track, any type of plugin or something that's going to affect it. Let's get some reverb in here just for the heck of it. We're going to do some full reverb. Let's do a football referee just so we can hear it. Okay, you ready? Sure. That's a lot of reverb. But you put it in here in the effects rack, and that will take care of the entire channel. Now I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this because I don't want that in there. Another way, you can do individual clips. For example, let's say we want to do, let's say we want this to be a little bit louder. This is your volume knob for this track. So what I can do is then turn this up.
Today's solution, building anything is better.
So I brought that up quite a bit. You see that right there? Now here are the original volumes. Way down here. Big difference. Now, what I've done also is not only have I affected this one, but this will also affect this one down here. So we want to make sure to restore all of that back to the way it was. So now we've got our original volumes here. Another way to do it is with some limiters and compressors. I've got that here in my final out. Let's listen. Watch your levels down here. As I'm sitting here playing this, okay, that's already muted.
I'm looking at the documents included in the system and a brief description of each. Bid sheet, a Word document with the various construction categories.
There isn't much of a change. There's a very slight change. I don't know if you can hear that, but the limiter will also bring it. In this case, I know I've got the limiter set to -3, and so that's going to be the peak that it's going to get to is -3, and I want to say it was probably about 2.5. So there's really not a lot of change. Also, you can do this with certain plugins. Let's go back up to here, and I'm going to bring this back down. I'm just going to undo that, and I'm going to flip back over to here. One of my absolute favorite new plugins. Let's turn all this off, and I'm going to come over to here. No. It's under dynamics. Here we go. I love this guy. I'm going to set it. Oh, it's already set to Broadcast Wizard.
The various construction categories and
see how high this is?
Listed with space for.
I'm going to turn it off.
Scope of work to be done. Dimensions, materials, location.
See how low it is without it? Now I'm going to bring it back up.
For clear communication. Worksheet.
What is cool about this one is it's a double-ended compressor. It does two things. Not only a compressor will typically bring down it'll only give you one set of controls, but this they've divided it. You've got low-end control, so for all the soft stuff that you want to bring up, and you've got high-end control for all the peaks that you want to bring down, and then of course your final output level. Now let's watch this. I'm going to bring this back down to the -3 and watch what's going on over here.
All the construction categories and individual tasks.
Now I'm below -3.
And profit markup formulas. Proposal, a Word document.
So with certain plugins, this is a compression type plugin. With certain plugins, you can also affect the volume for an entire track. We're going to go ahead and remove that one. And then overall, let's see, which one is this? That is the deep breath. And then here is some compression. And again, let's play this. Compression, this is already built in. It's turned off. So this is what it looks like normal. See how this is down here? A few peaks up to here, but mostly we're down here at the -15 range. Now I'm going to turn the compressor on.
Gene had barely gotten in the office door before John yelled out from the conference.
And with the makeup volume,
burger station.
And with the makeup volume, I've brought it all the way up to here. Now, the makeup volume on a compressor will also help handle that. So you can also bring up volumes there. And those are probably the most common versions that you're going to use when it comes to bringing up volume and audio levels in Adobe Audition, from individual tracks to individual sections of audio to plugins, compressors, and extra, extra limiters. All of that will affect your levels, and ultimately you want to be about the same level no matter what you're doing all the way across. Now, certain things like sound effects and things like that you're probably going to turn down and let it be in the background, but all your speaking levels should be about the same. So is this making sense? Does this flow with what you're going with? Have you been using Adobe Audition? What do you do? What are some of the tricks that you like to use? Share them here because I want everybody to benefit from the collective knowledge, not just mine. So if you've got something, I want to see it too. Hopefully that helped and you've got a whole new perspective on just adjusting your volumes in Adobe Audition. I have a free gift for you down below. Click the link in the description and I've got a whole bunch of software listed both for Mac and PC, bunch of audio editors that you might find helpful. We've divided them up into Mac and PC versions, paid, what's a subscription, what's a one-time payment, answer a bunch of the basic questions about them, and hopefully get you up and running quickly. I hope you find that valuable. Click the link below and get your free copy right now. I'm Nick Dottarella. Thank you for watching.